The Yamal gas transmission hub supplies gas to Russia's central regions, including Moscow and the surrounding region. A strike on this facility could leave the aggressor country without heat and electricity. Volodymyr Omelchenko, Director of Energy Programs at the Razumkov Center, made this statement on the Kyiv 24 television channel. According to him, approximately 17 main gas pipelines converge there. If this gas transportation hub is hit, then both Moscow and the central regions will be forced to implement very strict restrictions at a minimum on electricity and heat, he noted. Omelchenko added that in Russia, 70% of all electricity and heat production depends on natural gas. Recall, Ukrainian drones' attack on Russian oil refineries, in addition to fuel shortages within Russia itself, have also caused a sharp surge in crude oil exports from the aggressor country. This year, Ukrainian drones have hit more than a third of Russia's major oil refineries. Pavel Narozny, founder of the defense organization Reaktivnaya Pochta and military expert, says Ukraine is capable of causing a blackout in Moscow. He urges that this doesn't require striking the Russian capital directly. He explained that it's possible to destroy the power generation around it. He added that Ukraine produces missiles that work. This includes the Neptune, which has a range of up to 1,000 kilometers. There has also been much talk recently about the Flamingo missile, which has a range of up to 3,000 kilometers. But the important thing here is that we don't even need to attack Moscow directly. We can destroy the power generation around it, even at a distance of 100 to 200 kilometers, and then the Russians will have to come up with something, switch somewhere, balance the system, and so on. Therefore, even in Moscow, we'll have to implement power outages, he explained. According to Narozny, there's another very interesting point. He noted that while the Russians are destroying power generation capacity in Ukraine, our country can rely on the European Union for electricity. Russia, however, has no one to rely on. The expert added, connecting to, for example, Kazakhstan or another country won't work because Russia won't receive the amount of electricity it needs. Furthermore, Russia doesn't have its own production of turbines for thermal power plants, and acquiring new turbines will be quite difficult. Therefore, if we destroy turbine halls at thermal power plants in Russia, there will be a huge electricity shortage, Pavel Narozny concluded.
Plumes of smoke were seen over the Gaza Strip from Israel on Wednesday, as officials met in Egypt for a third day of talks aimed at ending the fighting. According to Associated Press, peace talks between Israel and Hamas resumed in Sharm el-Sheikh on Wednesday, the day after the two-year anniversary of the militant group's surprise attack on Israel that started the war that has killed tens of thousands of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. More senior officials from the United States, Israel, and mediating countries were expected to join, a sign that negotiators aim to tackle the toughest issues of an American plan to end the war in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accepted U.S. President Donald Trump's plan, which calls for the immediate release of the hostages. The plan also calls for Gaza to be placed under international governance and for Hamas to be disarmed, elements the militants have yet to accept. The plan has received widespread international backing, and Trump told reporters Monday that he thought there was a really good chance of a lasting deal. In a sign the talks were gaining momentum, Qatar said its prime minister and top diplomat, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, would travel to Egypt on Wednesday to join the negotiations. The war has already killed over 67,000 Palestinians, according to Gaza's health ministry, part of the Hamas-run government, which does not say how many were civilians or combatants. It says women and children make up around half the dead, and many independent experts say its figures are the most reliable estimate of wartime casualties. Last month, a team of independent experts commissioned by the United Nations Human Rights Council concluded that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza, a charge Israel vehemently denies.